Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good afternoon. My name is Eden Chipperfield, and here is your top sports headlines for 12:30. Let's dive into what's been going on in the world of all things sports. Major League Baseball's 11-man competition committee has approved the automatic ball strike system in the major leagues in 2026. Human umpires will still call balls and strikes, but teams can challenge 2 calls per game. Challenges must be made by a pitcher, catcher, or batter. A team retains its challenge if successful. Reviews will be shown as digital graphics on outfield video boards. Adding robot umpires could reduce ejections, as most are related to balls and strikes. The automated ball strike system has been tested in the minor leagues since 2019. The challenge system allows for ABS without eliminating pitch framing, a skill for catchers. This is MLB's first major rules change since 2024. The Canadian Hockey League have announced that defenseman Ryan Lynn, who is part of the Vancouver Giants, has been selected by NHL Central Scouting as the first roster addition. Lynn is now considered a top prospect for the 2026 NHL draft. Lynn was a key member of the Canada Gold Media winning team at the 2025 IIHF Under-18 World Championship. Lynn was a WHL Rookie of the Year finalist last season when he recorded 53 points in 60 games at 16 years old, becoming just the second rookie WHL defenseman aged 16 or younger to hit the 50-point mark in 35 years. Lynn joins Everett's Landon DuPont and as one of the only 2 accomplished this feat since Hockey Hall of Fame and Kamloops Blazers legends Scott Niedermayer. Oklahoma State fires football coach Mike Gundy after 20-plus years. Mike Gundy, one of the college's football's most colorful coaches over the last 2 decades, has been fired by Oklahoma State. Gundy, who played quarterback at the school in the late 1980s, had a career record of 170 per 90 at his alma mater. However, the team recently struggling throughout their games. The announcement comes to no surprise to CFB analyst Brad Crawford.
In Stillwater for the Cowboys, but he hasn't gotten it done the last couple of years. 3-9 last season, just took a 66-point loss on the chin at Oregon 2 weeks ago, and then to come home last week as a double-digit favorite and lose to Tulsa, you just knew that was going to be it for Mike Gundy.
Davis Alexander took starting quarterback reps at the Montreal Alouettes practice Tuesday, making a possible return from a hamstring injury this week. Alexander hasn't played since July 17th when he re-aggravated his injury in a 21-19 win over the Toronto Argonauts. The 26-year-old from Giggle Harbor, Washington, who rose from third stringer to the face of the franchise, initially hurt his hamstring on June 20th against the Edmonton Elks and missed the next 2 games before returning against Toronto. Let's jump into the pool with some swimming news. The spotlight shines on Canadian swimmer Mary Gibb as they competed in the Para-Swimming World Championships in Singapore. For a second day in a row, Gibb took down one of fellow Canadian swimmers Stephanie Dixon's national records for the 100-meter butterfly. Gibb, who is 18, clocked 1 minute 10.29 seconds for the 5th at the OCBC Aquatic Centre in Singapore. WNBA's Toronto Tempo has announced the addition of 2 regular season games in Montreal this week as 2 new faces of the Tempo's ownership group has joined the ranks, executive Jeff Molson and Margaret Belanger. Molson and Belanger say that basketball is very popular in Quebec and they want to keep the sport growing in the province. Tempo team president Teresa Retch says, quote, "It was always our intent to be Canada's team and play regular season games outside of Toronto. There's a lot of partnership that has to work and be in place in order to make those things happen, both on the team level, the league, as well as our hosts in different cities." The Red Leafs women's volleyball team is in full swing of their season. Their next game is facing off in Seattle Pacific on September 25th at home. The UBC Thunderbirds rowing team are currently in Shanghai, China, competing at the 2025 World Rowing Championship. This afternoon, it is clear with sun at 18 degrees. The high today will be 21. Enjoy the sun shining because, dear viewers, we all know too well that the Vancouver nickname is going to be coming in full effect soon. Those have been your top sports headlines at 12:30. Up next is my co-desker, Selena Teixeira, at 1 o'clock for your top news headlines that you won't want to miss.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.